And welcome, everybody, to a historic moment in podcast history, the very first episode of Fourth and Neat. I'm Fred Minnick and joined by my co-host, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and all-around great guy, Jared Allen. How you doing, man?
Oh, good, ma'am. Doing great, man. I'm excited for this. You know what I mean? For so long, people have been inviting me onto podcasts.
Yep.
And my wife was like, how come you do everybody else's podcast for free? I'm like, you're right. And then you were like, dude, let's do a podcast. And I was like, hey, time is money. Let's get it.
Yeah, we were just, we were like hanging out, drinking a bourbon. And I'm like, Jared, I've had you on the Fred Minnick show. You've been on the Fred Minnick show more than anybody else, and we always have such a good time, good vibe, and then when we're off camera and we're just talking about life, those are like my favorite moments with you. So I was
I appreciate it. Me too. That's the best part about this. So we'll disclaimer for everybody listening: like if you're easily offended, probably not the podcast you want to listen to. We're not going to purposely be offensive, but as people will get to know me, I like to make fun of things. I like to joke. I think the world needs for laughter, right? I don't take a lot of things serious, but I can be serious about a lot of things. So yeah, I just think this is going to be fun because I think, like you said, you and I have a good rapport. We can talk about things that we love, like football and bourbon, and then we can get down weird rabbit holes. And I think that's what I'm most excited about this. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised because when they think this, they're like, oh, football and bourbon makes sense. Yeah. But then the topics are going to get weird.
Yeah, we got a really weird one coming up in radioactive shrimp that I've just been absolutely fascinated with. But first, I want to learn what it's been like for you since you were inducted into the Hall of Fame and had a real moment on stage talking about your daughters.
Yeah, it's been cool. I never intended for that speech to resonate the way it did. I was really just trying not to suck and stay under the 15-minute. I learned my lesson from my past teammates, not ramble on too long. And people know I can ramble. Yeah. So, I wanted to deliver a speech in a moment of where it's really heavily me pointing. All the fingers are pointing towards me. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted to highlight the others in my life. That was my whole goal with that speech was. Again, I mentioned in the speech that, the word legacy kept being mentioned a lot of times. And to be honest, the speech was kind of born out of frustration a little bit. The Hall of Fame during the process of getting to Enshrinement Weekend was amazing. But, my family is very important to me. My routines are very important to me, right? I'm very present in my kids' lives and my family's lives. And so when I'm getting pulled away and having to do things that I deem that are ridiculous, where we could like Zoom call it or something, I got to fly to Canton or be here, and it messes up my routine. It's annoying and frustrating. So I was really, wanting to, let people know, like when we talk about legacy, that football obviously is a big part of who I was, who I am. I love football, right? I love the NFL. But it's not the end all be all. And too many times when people pass, unfortunately, they talk about their accolades on the field or what they did as a coach, and they don't talk about the person. So I really wanted to highlight the people in my life that make me who I am, the real people in my legacy. And then, take that time to, my daughters are at an age now where I think they don't fully understand my football career because they were young, but they understand what success is, right? They can see that. They can see their dad standing on the stage, accepting with the highest honors in my profession at the time, from years ago. And so I really just wanted to let them know that, I see greatness in them, that they can achieve greatness. And really, it resonated with a lot of people. That's probably the most, most comments I get is how people loved how authentic that speech was or how it resonated with them. And for me, that's what, kind of if you sum up my career, my person, I hope when I die, people say that was an authentic dude.
Yeah. And that was my last weekend with my organic eyeballs. So that was the last. You were like one of the last visuals that my eyes saw before the doctors went in and cut into them.
I apologize for that because this is not crushing it right now. Imagine if that's the face you have to see forever. Oh, although perfect timing to get eye surgery. You saw that new movie coming out is like Tron and the New American Warrior, or whatever. Some weird sci-fi crap where all these dude, I'm just telling you, maybe just some robotic eyeballs, man. You're onto something.
Well, everyone's like, they like the look. I was like, well, if I take them off, I feel like my eye is going to fall on the concrete. So
it's like, wow, Fred Minnick really turned into a badass, or he's extremely hungover, or B, he got beat up in a wrestling match or jiu-jitsu the other night. Like, eye surgery is fourth on that list.
Yeah.
Right? You should have come with just like a massive wad of gauze. You know what I'm saying? Just like had it duct taped to your face and then like eye surgery. Surgery.
That's funny.
And I love how you got like the old school wraparound glasses too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, there's protection here.
Yeah.
Here, there's no lights getting in these eyes.
It's freaking fantastic. You're going to be asleep at like 4:30 now because you're going to think it's dark.
Oh, so I have to wear protection when I'm sleeping. So I don't like hit a pillow or something. Or
for how long? How long does it?
I think I got about another week of that. And
okay.
So basically,
explain to people what's with the eye surgery. It wasn't like just random elective eye surgery.
Yeah. So I was born with a really, really bad stigmatism, and most people's eyeballs are shaped like basketballs, and my eyeballs are shaped like footballs, and so that the lens kind of like wraps around the eye a little differently, and I developed cataracts in both my eyes, and they were very fast acting. And my doctor thinks jiu-jitsu had a hand on because you can have like trauma to the eye in jiu-jitsu, and I'm constantly getting cross-faced, or choked. Something's always happening to me in jiu-jitsu.
Your doctor's like, be better at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I'm not very good. I'm not very good at it, so it's pretty easy for things to happen to me. And I was in St. Lucia, and all of a sudden I couldn't see. And I was like thinking like maybe I had salt water in my eye or something. And so I started playing with my eyes, and my entire right eye was blind. Like I couldn't see anything. Everything was like a giant blur. Went to the doctor like almost right away. And when we got back from St. Lucia, and he's like, yeah, dude, you have a fast acting, fast forming cataract. Like this cataract, you need surgery like right away. And so they basically did that, and they cut into my eye to like get rid of the stigmatism. And so now I actually have 20/20 vision, and as soon as I'm able to have like see full on light, it'll be the first time since I was 15 that I didn't have to wear glasses.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And now did they do both eyes at the same time or just one?
No, they did one and then did the other one. And the thing is the right eye, which was my really, really bad eye, was like the healing up was like no problem. I didn't even have to wear these for like a week. The left eye is like what the hell did you just do to me? My brain's not accepting the new
just
lens.
Pissed off.
Yeah, and so my eyes like constantly. I feel like my eyes like constantly trying to focus. It's very weird. It doesn't hurt, except if I look into like lights a certain way, and then it looks like I feel like I can see my incision point.
That's always fun. Yeah, being able to see the inside of your eyeball, it's always fun.
It's a thing.
Yeah, dude, I was in the emergency room like 3 weeks ago because of that. I was out weed whacking, and I refused to wear eye protection weed whacking. Yeah. I don't know why. It's a man thing. It's a dumb thing is what it is.
Well, you've just kind of like pushed through things though.
Yeah, and a rock didn't even hit me eye. My eye was closed. A rock hit me in my eye, my lid down, and for the whole rest of my day, my left eye was blurry. Right, left or right, I don't remember. Wow. So my uncle who's an eye surgeon, I called him, and he was like, "Yeah, like you probably need to go get that checked out." So I went in. They did the whole eye exam thing. It came back the next day, but losing your eyesight is not fun.
No, it's scary. And so like that's the shout out to all the eye doctors out there, because they truly, I think of all the doctors, they probably get more kudos because I saw so much better immediately after the surgery of my right eye.
Yeah.
And like the doctors are just used to getting compliments because everyone goes in, they're like half blind and come out and they're like, they can see. So
not a bad profession when it works, right? Versus like going in, seeing and coming out blind.
Yeah. Or a back surgeon. Like I would hate to be a back surgeon. I've never heard of how many back surgeries have you had?
None. I refuse to. Did you not see Dr. Death on Netflix? Yeah, the guy down in Texas was murdering people. He was a back surgeon, and he was just down there freaking murdering people. Yeah, I think I'm good. I'll take some tingliness in my toes. These L5, L4, L5 is going to stay herniated. I'm not messing around with these dang people. I try to avoid, doctors and all that crap like the plague. I'm just like, you know what? I mean, don't worry, I have a great relationship with my doctor, but sometimes I'm like, you go in for one thing and next thing you know, you're taking out, you're like, I went in for like an eye and you took my gallbladder out. What the heck? Where did that come from?
You're like, I just went in for a prostate check and now I don't have testicles. What's up?
Yeah, what the heck? Next thing you know, I'm neutered. That's the part about getting old. How come getting old, your doctors get more invasive into you?
I know, right?
The older I get, the more invasive you got to start putting things inside of me. I'm like, no, come on. Like, it's for your own health. Beg to differ, doc. Not sure you're understanding what health is right now.
And if you come back with like a little cholesterol or something, they put you on a statin.
Oh, don't even get me started about big pharma and big food all working together.
This show's going to be half big pharma, big food, anti.
We're now that we're here, we're into the big food company. Let's talk about the freaking nuclear waste shrimp out there. Man. Can we get to your favorite topic?
Yes.
Please?
All right. So we got to jump into this. This is our section we're calling it Crazy Culture. And it's probably going to be a lot like this. We're probably going to do something food oriented or farm related. And this is about radioactive shrimp. Okay.
Radioactive shrimp.
And
can we bring this back real quick? This made like one news cycle. You sent me that we were talking about some stuff, and all of a sudden, radioactive shrimp came. I'm like, what? It was like a blurb. Cadmium, or was it cesium 187, 137?
Yeah, cesium 137 basically entered the U.S. marketplace. There's been several recalls on this, and it's basically came in from like the Indonesia area. The shrimp
Bahari
did.
Makmur.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
And here are the recalls. Southwind Foods. Okay, so that was issued August 21st. August 22nd, Beaver Street Fisheries. By the way, who's naming their fishery Beaver Street? I don't feel like that's a good name.
I feel like you're already getting giardia by eating from that place. Like, if you have beaver, if you're a water-based food company and you have beaver in it, you're probably not that hygienic either.
But you know that the beaver's anal glands is an actual flavor that is used in some flavored whiskeys. There's a flavored whiskey out there. I forget the name of it, but they take
it's called anal gland. It's anal juice. It's called anal juice. That's what it's called.
Beaver Street anal juice. Yeah, that's not,
note to self. Don't put anal anything in your food and or your drink. Like, just no. I'm out. And you should have to disclose that crap. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's freaking disgusting.
It is, but it's an actual flavor. It's approved by the FDA.
And who's over there tasting anal glands that knows, like, you know what? There's something. No, hold on. Let me get one more sip.
There's
when you put this on, when you put a little water in there, that anal gland flavor really pops. Like that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that type of review. What was that? Oh man, that bourbon, that was nice. It really hits you right when the anal gland pops. Bam! Like, ooh, yeah, that anal gland flavor. What? And the beaver anal gland.
There's got to be an
myself right now, Fred. I'm beside myself.
Well,
the show's derailed now. Now I'm all pissed off, and I got to go Google this, figure out who's selling anal gland bourbon.
So there is an anal sommelier out there who is picking the beaver butt juice to drop in these whiskeys and these flavorings.
And how are they doing it? Like, that you know, let's give that a couple more years.
That needs a little less peanut in it.
Yeah, this one was very piney. We needed some more from the Northwest. We get a little more cedar oak out of that. All right, back to cesium.
Yeah, so back to radioactive shrimp. All right, so Kroger had a brand out there. Walmart had a brand out there. But basically, this recall hit, and I hit my audience up. I said, hey, would you eat shrimp, eat radioactive shrimp? And get this, 62% said no. That means 38% of my audience is out there saying that they would eat radioactive shrimp.
First of all, lesson number one, you never eat farm shrimp or farm fish. It's disgusting, right? Those are like cesspools. Number two, I don't think I'm getting down on the frozen shrimp either, right?
Yeah.
And then number three is I try to get my seafood in a great proximity to the ocean.
Yep.
I don't know that I'm buying my seafood from Walmart being shipped in from Bahari. I don't even know where Bahari is. Bahari Makmur. I'm probably butchering that language. But again, remember that previous, if you're offended by my pronunciation, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not the right show.
So, yeah, I just think there's so many things that are wrong with this. You know, whatever happened to getting shrimp from the ocean? I feel like that's a good place to start. Is there cesium-137 in the ocean? I'm not sure. Just, you know what, Louisiana. I think the Gulf of Mexico has a bunch of shrimp boats. Just get it down there. We can't get shrimp from the Gulf of America. Sorry, the Gulf of America it is now called.
America.
Which I'm actually pretty stoked because the majority of it touches America. So
here's what people always say that all the other countries are America. Like, Canada's a part of America. And everyone always says that. I've never had the chance to counter someone because I don't know why I'm not in those discussions, but it's just like, I see it. But I'm like, we're the only country that actually has America in the name. It's not Correct. Mexico of America. It's not Canada of America. It's not Brazil of America. It's the United States of America. So anyone who ever questions like whether or not we can be called America, that's my counter.
Well, it's 100% correct too, right? Yeah. Now, where they get it, they say we are also North American, where people lump the entire South American, countries into the entire continent. Yep. We tend to separate that out here in the North. But again, we're the only one claiming it. We're staking claim to the Americas in our name. Again, I'm with it. If it wants to be Mexico America, I'm good with it. You want to be Canada of America? I'm good with it.
So speaking of good,
but you're going to have to pay royalties.
Speaking of good Americans, Jameson Erler commented that he's pretty sure that he has had the radioactive shrimp. Now, he's an Iraq vet, and he said if you have eaten surf and turf in Baghdad, I'm sure those were glowing a bit. And I do recall a little mercury in my seafood when I was in Iraq.
A lot of mercury out there.
Yeah.
Dude, I was actually shocked. So when I was on the USO tour over in Kuwait, we're in the hotel and there's the beautiful, I guess it'd be the Gulf of Kuwait. I don't know what it was called over there. The Persian Gulf.
It's Persian Gulf.
Yeah, Persian Gulf. I figured. And, but I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. How come no one's out there swimming in it? And they were saying that they actually run, and there's big, beautiful houses all over the Gulf, and they run the sewage directly into the Gulf.
Yeah.
So, I'm Persian Gulf shrimp. No, thank you. I'm good. Mercury and anal. I mean, although maybe they're above, maybe they are actually ahead of their time by doing that because they're actually just getting that anal gland flavor, bam, right into your shrimp. You know what I mean?
Speaking of the anal gland, let's go back to the Beaver gland for a second. So the Beaver gland flavored whiskey is from Tamworth Distillings, and it's called Eau de Musk, and it's flavored with castorum, which is an oily secretion from the beaver's castor sacs, basically. Their butt. And this is what AI pulled up.
I didn't know what their case volumes are. I didn't know what their case volumes are being sold at now because I have a strong problem with anybody who's buying that and is like, yeah.
Okay.
Like, can we put them on a watch list? Can we just please put those people on a watch list for something?
Tamworth is a pretty successful small distiller. I will say that. But here are the tasting notes that AI pulled up for me. I want to be very
ass. That's
be very clear. I have never tasted this product. Vanilla, okay. Raspberry, and this is probably my favorite note for Beaver butt juice whiskey. Leather. Leather.
Oh, hey.
So,
you know what? Can't knock it till you try it, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, at least it's organic.
I will never know. I will never know unless you know what? Although here's the deal. Every single time I bet somebody anything, the loser is going to have to drink Beaver butt bourbon. I mean, that's what they, come on. Like that sounds, that's what they should just call it, Beaver butt bourbon.
I like that, actually.
Yeah, right?
I might sign up for it.
Right? And I trademarked that. My goodness.
So
raspberry, like
raspberry.
If anal gland is what your flavor profile is, why are you covering it up with
just say you got leather, so just say assless
felt.
chaps, right?
Leather, felt, saddle, you know what I mean? With a cowboy hat. Oh man. Diarrhea. I mean, that's a tasting note.
So speaking of diarrhea, that's a good segue to the next thing. In addition
back to the shrimp, I'm pretty sure you get explosive diarrhea.
Without a doubt.
Cesium 137 shrimp.
In addition to the radioactive shrimp that's happening right now. So you got me on this whole not eating oysters, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you got to be careful. It's crazy.
Now there are people dying in the United States of America from eating oysters that have the flesh-eating bacteria.
So it's always been there. So the flesh-eating bacteria, actually, there's more cases this year than any time in recent history. At least that's the last article I read. A lot of it's down in Florida. The big thing is the flesh-eating bacteria is usually in like brackish, water. When it gets to a certain, as the heat goes up, the bacteria obviously multiplies. And I was reading an article. I won't quote the news thing because I don't want to misquote the newspaper or online, platform I was reading it from, but it was like Apple News or Fox News or something like that. It doesn't matter.
Fine journalism was what it was.
Yes, fine journalism. But anyways, they were saying because of the last, round of hurricanes last year, especially with the amount of, just diarrhea, like sewage and everything that leaked out, and it obviously drains out into the water, that they had higher levels of bacteria in a lot of the water down there this year. And the case numbers of flesh-eating bacteria down there are through the roof. Like, I no joke, we go down to Florida for spring break sometimes. If my kids got cuts on them, there's actually sites that monitor their bacteria levels in the Gulf of America because it's a thing down there. So, I mean, if you got cuts, you got to cover them up, now immune compromised. But with that said, Chesapeake Bay is also a place where, because the flesh-eating bacteria is actually just a Streptococcus A strain, right? So like it's a thing of strep, and it's heavily it's in oysters. So people that eat raw oysters can actually contract flesh-eating bacteria, that Streptococcus A, whatever the strain is, from that. That's why I don't do raw oysters because they're gross, slimy. Oysters Rockefeller I'll crush, but. Nope. And so Fred was all about the oysters, and I told him, you're going to get flesh-eating bacteria and die one day. Yeah. And then somebody did. There was a recent case where someone died from eating oysters.
Literally the next day. After you told me that.
Yeah.
Next day. I'm like out on shrimp. I'm out on oysters, and then you were like, you follow up this entire conversation. This was not in the show notes for us, but you're like, stay away from tilapia. And now I'm like, going to my food pantry and I'm reaching for a cracker or a Triscuit or something. And I'm feeling the judgment of Jared Allen upon me as I'm at the pantry. I was like, is Jared going to approve of my Triscuit?
No. My wife makes homemade sourdough, right? So we had some fresh sourdough crackers the other night. It was great. My point is, there's better alternatives out there. There's stuff that isn't highly processed, that doesn't have a bunch of garbage, a bunch of disgusting ingredients in it. Listen, we got months and months to go down this rabbit hole.
Oh, we will.
But you know what? There's a lot of ways I see myself going out in this world. Flesh-eating bacteria and brain-eating amoebas are two that they're very avoidable for me. very avoidable for me. So I'm going to just go ahead and remove those from my potential kick the bucket list, if you will.
By the way, so is a torn retina the next time you're mowing. So wear eye protection.
Yeah. I wear the goggles now. I'm put the glasses on.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna get some old school blue blockers with with the fins.
There you go, and then you can do some kind of cool hangman sign or something.
Let's go back to the shrimp for a quick minute.
Let's do it.
Did they not test the water? Like, how did they find out that there was cesium or CS-137 in this? Where was the checks and balances? Where's the food safety before that even got shipped? Before that shrimp was even frozen? How are they not checking?
Yeah, well, by the way, hats off to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection for catching this, because it was.
What were they just scanning it with like a? I don't know. They have
customs
radioactive scanner. Were they searching for nukes and then they found radioactive shrimp? How did this happen?
Good Lord, that's actually a good question.
I need to know. Like they weren't testing shrimp for CS-137. Let's put it that way. They stumbled across this. It had to be.
Well, I know this. The people who run the border, the customs, they all right. So let's see here. They've got detection. They basically look for it in the shipping containers, and they collect samples of anything that's coming in. They collect samples and they test for it. And it was specifically in the breaded product, so that means it was getting breaded overseas before coming here. So you have shrimp, right? It's frozen, breaded, all this pack, and then traveled thousands of miles to get here. This is like the most non-nutritious shrimp in the history of the world right now. Yeah,
this is just filler. But if they tested it at the border and they caught it, why did they need the recall? That means some already got through. Some got through. Some got through without being tested.
It could have been like a previous shipment, right? But I mean, if you've ever, anytime you go through the airport, customs is on top of you. Like there's not a law enforcement agency I have seen more attentive at the lowest level than customs. And
they got a tough job. I mean, there's a lot of people moving, moving parts, a lot of ships coming in. So good catch. I feel like there should be some checks and balances before it even gets on the ship.
Yeah.
Like these are just standard things like, okay, radioactive material. Now we're good. All right. Flesh eating bacteria. Now we're clear. All right, cool.
Well, you get to these countries that don't have the same measures as us, right? So they're not going to be like, oh, you got a human hand in there with the fish? Yeah, it's okay. Well, so like in the organic world, I eat majority organic food. Well, that's pretty much all I try to eat and grow my own food, and hunt my own food. But so there's actually there's a difference between like USDA certified organic and then stuff that comes from overseas. If it'll say like internationally checked or third party checked, and it's like a third party that doesn't it checks to make the certified organic coming from like China or something, but they don't have the same. They don't have the same standards as the USDA does. And so you really, even some of the organic products, like a lot of the nuts and stuff come from China. And it could be whatever in there. So yeah,
you really need to step that up on that independent testing.
Well, maybe we will be the force that drives that influence, Jared.
I'm hoping. Yeah. I mean, people should be able to buy some shrimp and eat it without the fear of, growing an extra eye.
Well, that said, now the fear is going to be like chasing down a quarterback because everyone's going to be afraid of your judgment of eating shrimp. So, speaking of that, let's get into sports. How did you feel about the Minnesota Vikings? You got J.J. McCarthy. His first game kind of looked like he was not meant for the NFL, and then he created a comeback.
You know what? I haven't watched much football the last few years, right? I'm just busy doing things, but I was able to catch these games because, I grew up a Raiders and Bills fan, so I always try to catch a Bills game if I can or a Raiders game. But it just happened to be Sunday Night Football was the Bills, Ravens, and then Monday Night Football was the was the Bears Vikings, and those two games. I mean, the NFL is bad. I mean, like the NFL has got to be the hottest sports league ever right now. I mean, that was fun. That was fun games to watch just as a football fan. I mean, what Josh Allen was able to do. And I mean, the dominant performance both the Ravens and the Bears were having. And it wasn't like, now the Vikings were just not playing well. You know, at least the Bills offense was playing well. But those comebacks were phenomenal. But yeah, to get back to the Vikings and Bears, I mean, the end of the third quarter, I was just like, oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to just be honest, you know, have honest, blunt opinions about what's going on over here. You know, I love the team, but it was not looking good, and Bears seemed to be firing all cylinders, and then all of a sudden it just, you know, I think it was like after that missed field goal, right? And they come down, we go down and get points, and I mean, and really after that pick six JJ threw, I think, you know, I was saying to someone earlier, I was like, you know, there's two types of people in this world: those who get punched and fight back, and those who get punched and cower in the corner and just pray that the beating stops, you know? And I just think it looked like the Vikings were like, all right, we're tired of getting punched. We're going to go start throwing some punches of our own. Like, they didn't knock us out. We got this. We're only down 11. And man, they just got in stride. And the biggest takeaway was to see how the team rallied around McCarthy. Because I'll be honest, if I got a rookie quarterback just absolutely not playing to the standards that you're going to be, you're going to be like, oh my goodness. But after he's over there talking to the guys, you see Justin Jefferson hugging the offensive line, listening to him. You know, he's talking with the vets on the defensive side. You know, I can only imagine him saying, like, give me the ball back. I got this. And they had trust in him. I mean, you never saw body language like, you know, pissed off at him or anything like that.
Yeah.
And they just clawed back, and it was fun to watch. And then the run game got going. And I think really what happened is they took it over in the trenches. Brian Flores started getting more aggressive. You know, the interior D linemen started taking advantage of opportunities, stopping the run, putting the Bears behind the chains. And so it was good to see. And to be honest, I mean, JJ was set up for failure to start. I mean, playing for the Vikings historically in Chicago doesn't go well for us. I mean, even in 2009 when we had Brett, we went in there and we lost in overtime, you know, and we were getting smoked in the first half. We had to come back to get to overtime. So, you know, for him to face that challenge, Monday Night Football in Chicago, like that's an environment that's tough for the best quarterbacks. And I tell you what, the kid answers a lot of questions in one quarter. So that was cool to see. And there's a lot of stuff to coach off of that, but you can't coach that kind of effort. You can't coach that kind of heart. You can't coach that kind of confidence and like just that cool, calm demeanor to keep plugging away, to keep making those throws. And the guys responded. So, you know, that's the kind of leadership you need.
Yeah, you know, in the middle of the game, your people are tweeting like, let's trade for Cousins back from Atlanta, you know, and guys like, man, y'all are giving up on him already. That's something.
It was
else.
bad. It was a bad first three quarters. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're a Vikings fan. You can admit it. It was suspect at best in those first three quarters.
It was tough.
And not to mention, then the Bears were but I mean, the Bears in essence were doing what we ended up doing in the fourth quarter, right? They were running the ball decently in the early downs. Caleb Williams was over there making plays with his feet. You know, guys were running open. So I think it was it defensively kind of looked like that bend don't break kind of mentality at the beginning. It was like death by 1,000 paper cuts. And then it was like, all right, you know what? We got nothing to lose. Let's go put it on them. And again, like I said, credit to the guys. They all responded.
And Bears will always find a way to lose.
That's the difference, right? Yeah. That's the difference between winning and losing. It's those winning habits and losing habits, you know, you have to learn. They're learned. They really are. And so, you know, people tend to, you actually made this comment on a show we had years ago. Well, maybe last year, 2 years ago, but you said like people taste through experience, right?
Right.
Yeah, yep. Your experiences help develop your palate because like, oh, this reminds me of this. Is when we were talking about marzipan, right? You're like, I was in France, had marzipan, I coined this phrase, and that was at the time I was making fun of the word marzipan for you to tell me that you coined the phrase marzipan. Yeah. And we're still friends. I mean, look how this works. But so people draw on their experiences. So if your experiences, hey, when we get something's going to go wrong, we get into a bad situation, it's going to tank. that tends to be your first stop, right? You got to work your way out of that. You got to get enough veterans around you that have been in the opposite situation to be like, hey, young man, or hey, guys, we got to keep fighting. And I think they got that. Obviously the Bears got a great coaching staff. I really like their president's a friend of mine, Kevin Warren. I think he's going to have the right mindset going forward. Obviously you got young talent there, but they just have to learn to win. Right, you have to learn to handle the ebbs and flows of the NFL, because it's not like college where teams are going to be staunchly better than other people. You're going to have ebbs and flows, and I think that's what you saw from the Vikings. Right, you see a team that's been in. I think they said they were 9-1 in 1-score games last year. Right. So the coaching staff, they have been in these situations. These players have been in these situations. Even though JJ wasn't the starter last year, he was around a team that went 14-2. So he understands what the winning culture is. And that showed up late in the game. Hey, man, we're down 11. We got 15 minutes left. This team hasn't put us away yet. We still got a chance. And that's the other side. When you get a chance to put people away, you got to go for it.
You got to do it.
And that's I go back and look at what the Ravens did. Right, they got a little conservative towards the end of the game. The Bills pounced on them. It's a turnover, and now the game is a totally different game. You got to put people away when you got that chance.
Speaking of the Ravens game, what did you think of the DeAndre Hopkins moment and Lamar Jackson when they interacted with that fan and Lamar Jackson?
I thought Lamar should have grabbed the fan and drug him out onto the field. Right, I mean. That wasn't a dude just tapping people on the helmets, right? He's hitting him in the head, and DeAndre Hopkins takes it. Lamar, and he cranks Lamar's neck. Like, I'm sorry, you want to put your hands on somebody, be ready for them to put their hands back on you. I don't care that they're supposed to be they're the professional athletes or not. No, they're at work. You're paying to come see them cheer. I don't care if it's the opposing team. You put your hands on somebody, be prepared to get hit back. And good for Lamar for throwing that kid back into the stands where he belonged.
Yeah, he did get suspended.
Who did?
So the guy's like banned from coming to football games now.
Oh, good. Yeah, that wasn't like putting it on the hands. Like,
yeah, that was he moved
him in the head. He jacked Lamar in the head.
Yeah,
and it's like,
he moved his neck.
Yeah, that's so. Kudos Lamar, and the NFL better stand behind Lamar because he did the right thing. He stuck up for his guy, defended himself. We're in this world where people just think they can do whatever they want with no consequences.
Yeah,
bring back the consequences.
Let's bring bullies back. I mean, I get bullied all the time. I'm still here.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes my dad taught me, how you deal with a bully? Punch him in the face.
That's it. That's all you got to do. So one of the things that happened is of late, and I haven't talked to you about this, but I was curious to get your thoughts on the Micah Parsons deal of like how it went down, because you were traded. So I was curious, like what, and that's your position. How did you think that went down?
It's huge. I mean, you just look at Green Bay. It's scary, right? I mean, he added an element to Green Bay. Mike is obviously an insane player. And to be honest, I think it was the right move for Dallas, right? I mean, Dallas has been stagnant. They had Micah for 4 years and they still weren't able to put the pieces around him and Dak and that to win. So here you got a guy that you're going to have to pay the moon to, maybe you're at an impasse picks. I mean, you're talking about picks. You're talking about cap that you're saving. So I honestly think it was advantageous for both teams. Micah went up to Green Bay, immediate impact. I think the larger impact he's going to have is what you're going to see with like the young kids like Gary and some of the middle D linemen, because he's going to draw so much more attention. But at the same time, as a Viking, man, it's scary. That's a scary defense. And Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs, they're that offense can put up points.
I mean, you could just see what Green Bay was doing to Detroit. Yeah. Detroit would put 2 and 3 people on Parsons, and that opened up the other side.
That's what I'm saying. You're creating one-on-ones all over the place now. Yeah, like the impact he has is much more than just the stats he's going to have on the field. So I think you take a team like that's a contender, right? I mean, the North is already crazy tough, but you take a team like Green Bay that's a contender, and that's a piece they're missing. They're missing that dominant defensive player that's actually just going to wreck shop. And then you take a team like Dallas, who's got a lot of needs, right? and they're able to, they're going to be able to make picks. They're going to be able to stretch that cap. They're going to be able to fill a lot more pieces around that puzzle. And like I said, they had them for 4 years and they weren't able to get over that hump. And I think, again, it might end up working out for both sides, but Green Bay is getting a hell of a player. They're getting, they are a front runner of the division. They are a front runner in the NFC. Now, again, that NFC train still has to go through Philly, and Philly looks sharp. Philly looks real good. But again, that kudos to Micah, and then to come in and have an immediate impact like he did was really good. I mean, what did he get there like on a Thursday and played on Sunday?
Yeah, unbelievable. Like 50% of the snaps. And
no one actually believed he had a back problem. I didn't believe he had a back problem.
Of course.
Conveniently, you're not getting paid and you have a back problem. We all have a hamstring and back problem when we don't get hundreds of millions of dollars.
I mean, when he chased down Goff, he looked like a lion, about to snatch a gazelle. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. I love it. That dude's got, he is full tilt. Like, he was on a pitch count. I'm like, you did that. You did that because he just got off the plane and was barely hydrated.
Absolutely.
It had nothing to do with his injury. He hadn't played in training camp. Of course, he was fresh. So if they stay healthy, they're a dangerous team. Dangerous team.
Green Bay looks tough.
Sucks to say it.
So jumping into another sport, wrestling, one of my passions. There's a new professional league that I went to the very first session, meet, I guess is what we're calling it. Match, Real American Freestyle. It had a card, and so they're trying to model it like after UFC a little bit, and with a little touch of WWE in there. They've got belts, but it's like Olympic style.
It's Olympic style wrestling, right?
Yeah, the rules are almost the same. There's a couple differences, but it's freestyle wrestling, and it was beautiful. One of the best matches was Jason Nolf, who is a NCAA champion from Penn State, taking on Evan Wick, who is an All-American from Wisconsin, was real close to representing the world team this year, just barely missed it. And it just was an incredible match. And for wrestling, we need a professional sport in order for it to be viable for the college kids, because what's happening is all the best college wrestlers are going into MMA and they want to wrestle.
All of them. Wait, did I just see that Bo Nichols wrestled in it as well?
Yeah, he wrestled in it and he won. He beat Cardenas.
Jacob Cardenas, Cardenas, is that how you pronounce
Cardenas. It? Yeah, he was a stud wrestler out of Michigan, All-American. Big Ten champion, real good 197 pounder.
I'm surprised. I wonder if Dana has a hand in this. I'm surprised the UFC let him go over there and compete.
I know that they have had conversations with him. Like the Chael Sonnen was the guy on the call, and he said
Sonnen or whatever.
Chael Sonnen. He was on the call, and he said that Joe Rogan was texting him in the middle of it. Now Chael, I don't know if you can. He's one of those guys where you never know if he's being honest.
Yeah, he's really sold out to the act.
Yeah, he's
definitely sold out to. I'm like, is he a good dude? Is he not? I don't know.
Yeah, he's a showman.
He was intense. Yeah. He's a showman for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they would, because I mean, they got jiu-jitsu leagues, but I mean, I guess they do. You got jiu-jitsu leagues, you got karate leagues, then you got all these combat sport leagues. I'm surprised it's taken this long to have a professional wrestling league for these guys to have a transition, because wrestling's a beast of a sport.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
There have been a lot that have tried, and there's a lot. And there's still
there's
some
a lot
happening.
Of big names now. I mean, you got Bo Nichols, you got what's the kid from Stevenson, right?
Yeah, Gable Stevenson.
Stevenson. Yeah, I mean, from Minnesota, you got some of these top guys, and like you said, they transition to MMA.
Gable's very first MMA match is this weekend, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's the deal. The only problem with wrestlers is, though, can they get punched in the face? Especially big wrestlers, like a guy like Gable. Like, has he ever been punched in the face? That's my question.
Well, the guy they plucked a guy from your home state No, you're from Idaho. He's from Montana. This guy's from Montana.
No, I actually
you're from California.
I went to school in Idaho. Yeah, born in Texas, raised in California.
Yeah,
so,
you're from all over the damn place. Let's put.
I really am. I'm a nomadic international.
Well, you're a Viking.
Domestic man of mystery, I guess.
Yeah, you're a Viking, so it fits. But the next card is coming out. They just announced that the next Real American Freestyle 2 will be happening at Penn State, which is a hotbed of wrestling. So very excited about that.
That's awesome. I wonder what the crowd turnout was.
So it was 4,000 when we were there, and it was at Cleveland. It was at Cleveland State, which actually just.
Oh, so you went up? You literally went to it?
Yeah, I went.
Okay. Do they have any? Can you watch it? Is it streamed or what?
Yeah, it's on Fox Nation. Streamed on Fox Nation.
Yeah, I'm definitely tuning into this. I'm a big combat sports fan. Wrestling
is a good base. It's a good base for all combat
It really
sports.
is. So my wrestling career ended in 7th grade when they wanted me to wear a singlet. And I was like, that middle school is a tough time for a boy trying to be popular to put on a singlet.
Yeah, the twigs and berries are showing.
Oh, it's a tough one. Yep. You're like, I got full mammal toe going on. I got like 4 armpit hairs. This is a struggle. This is a struggle to my manhood right now.
When you talk to kids about why they don't want to wrestle, the singlet comes up a lot.
Yeah.
So
put me in some board. If they would be like, hey, you can wear board shorts and a tank top, I'm like, yep, I'm in. Let's go. There
is a movement to go into more of like what we call rash guard, like what you see in Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
So there is a movement for that. And girls wrestling is so huge right now. They have their own singlets. So I think there's a lot more open conversation to change from singlets. But when you get to the diehard wrestling fans, they're like, no singlet. Like, I went through it. You're going through it.
You got it. But I mean, it's the evolution of the sport, right? You got to move towards it.
You got to move away from it, or think
about it. Swimmers aren't wearing Speedos anymore. They're all wearing like bike shorts or onesies. They got those little onesies things they're wearing.
Yeah, now. Which Michael Phelps, he made that famous.
He did. He did not want the Speedo.
All right, so let's talk about something you're passionate about: mullets. What makes a good mullet?
First of all, it's number one is how you wear it. It's the confidence in which you project your flow, right? That's number one. Everybody thinks it has to be trashy. It doesn't. I don't consider myself a trashy human being, and I rock my mullet. 2, it's your barber. You gotta have a good cut. Like this my last one wasn't the greatest cut, and you gotta have good continuity. Like you gotta have good flow. You can't just be like crazy short to stringy long. You can't just be like, you got to have balance. Because when you say business in the front, I should be able to tuck this back and they'd be like, oh, that's a respectable dude. Right. Mm-hmm. And then when I'm walking away, they're like, bro, that dude likes to have fun. Watch out. He's a wild card. And then, I look at like, how does it look in a hat? Right. How does it, some people like it to flow out like the wings. I got some good curl. This side isn't curling as much. It was down to here and it got a little thin. So then it's like, there's a whole lot to it, but I look at the confidence of the person wearing it, right? Is the mullet, is it chameleon? Can you put the mullet in modern situations, right? Anybody can just trash it up, cut their hair short on the sides, have some long hair, be out in some overalls by a trailer, right? You know what I mean? The typical cliche white trash mullet, like that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, can you transcend people's idea of who and what a mullet is all about. And if you can do that you're killing it. Like if you could put a mullet in the boardroom and then bring it to the dive bar, like boom.
That's it. That's where it's at.
Crushing it. So, but yeah, it's all about the flow. I think it's all about the consistency of how it transitions, right? For me, that's when I'm judging my mullet contests, that's what I'm looking for sure.
And I want to tell everyone listening or watching, we are going to begin. We will start analyzing mullets. So if you have a good mullet, take a picture, tag us on social media, and we will critique your mullet. Now, here's a question for you. You are a master of the mullet. How do you feel about fellas who perm it up? Like if they
Yeah, I'm good with it. I mean, I'm good with that. I mean, if you have curly and you want to straighten it sometimes, I mean, you got to adapt to what your flair is, what your style is. Like a perm mullet, man, all for it, right?
Okay. What if
straighten it out? Go for it.
What if they take their mullet and occasionally man bun it?
Man, I'm gonna say negative on that, Ghost Rider, because why are you hiding it? If you got a salad, if you got the flow, why hide it?
Well, maybe the man bun appeals to a certain girl who's in yoga, and they're just trying to.
I'm not a big fan of the man bun. You want to go man bun? Just do long hair. Just do long hair, right? You know what I mean? I mean, I don't see the point of it. Right? Again, why would you want to like man bun it? What's the point? Makes no sense to me. I mean, to be honest, the man bun needs to go. Nobody in the history of ever has been like, do you see how badass that dude look with a man bun? Nobody's ever said that.
You know where there's a lot of man buns? Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, now that's probably because, rolling, your hair gets stepped on, right? I would also argue, though, that if you have to put your hair up for jiu-jitsu, just cut your hair. If you're that into jiu-jitsu that your hair is slowing you down, cut your hair because you love jiu-jitsu more than you love your hair. If not, let it freaking rock. Let it rock. And besides, that would be an advantage. Can you imagine rolling with a dude and he's just got like his hair all in your mouth?
That recently happened in competition.
Going for like a Darce choke, and you got a mouthful of hair, and you're not only getting choked, you're choking on the dude's hair. Like, this is fantastic.
Well, they use it as a way to block the eyesight, so you can't. So it has actually been added to some rules of like your hair must be put up, it can't be dangling. So like it's got to be braided or tucked away or something. Like I've rolled with a lot of long hair people. For me, it's the smell of like the conditioner and all that. Like I can't handle that because I'm so sensitive. I smell every square inch of the person's body, you know.
In the wrong context, that's creepy.
That could be that. Yeah,
we're here for jiu-jitsu, Fred. We're here for jiu-jitsu.
That's right up there.
Beaver butt bourbon.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're up there with beaver butt right there. But like
I'm just expanding my profile, guys. I'm expanding my profile.
If I see you in a checkout line,
Listen, man. When you got bad eyesight, you know what they say. Your other senses are enhanced.
That's right.
So
that's true.
As everybody listening, anybody's gonna be rolling with Fred, just know the man's got a sensitive nose, bro. Like, have some hygiene before you get on the mat. Otherwise, it's a tactical advantage. It's all it is.
I wonder if that's why my nose has always been really good, because my eyes have
crappy
sucked.
eyesight.
Yeah, my brain's like, well, you're going blind, so let's give you a nose. You know?
Yeah. And look at you, and you have a nose for details.
There we go. But I like if someone has used Head and Shoulders or one of those types of shampoos, it's really like, I don't know,
all the fragrances. All the
I hate that. I hate that.
Nah, I'm not doing it. Go crunchy. Go. You know. What about beards? So my beard never gets this big or that long to where I need beard oil or something like that. Yeah. But have you ever had to roll with somebody who's got like a big long beard?
Yeah. I rolled with the guy in Denver. He actually has his own gym. Really great.
Was it in his basement? Did he just tell you that? Like, hey,
no, he's like legit. He's on like ADCC teams and everything. He's like really good. His name Troy. Gosh, I can't remember his gym name. But it was really good. But his beard was like, I couldn't get a choke around him. You know, I felt bad for choking him, through the beard. Yeah. So I tried to go underneath, and it was like, he's like, no, it's okay. You can choke me from the beard. Yeah. And I was like, this is an advantage for you. Yeah. I think you'd like it.
Little cushion, right?
Yeah. Gets a little extra space from the carotid artery.
That's one thing I never had to experience was like the jaw, like the face wrench, the jaw wrench, or whatever you want to call it.
I did something to my jaw. Like my jaw's cracked.
I think I'd rather get choked out than have like the cross face jaw crunch, whatever you want to call that. My jiu-jitsu coach back when I was training MMA heavily he's like 190 pounds. And would choke me out at will. That's one thing I like about jiu-jitsu. It's a very passive aggressive sport. Just because you're big and you can overpower people, that doesn't necessarily going to put you in the best position. And one of my coaches, again, about 190 pounds, no joke, we were working rear naked chokes one day, right? Mm-hmm. And he was throwing, so he would actually, instead of choking to the same side as, as your body triangle or whatever, right? He would choke opposite, right? Knowing that people were going to try to roll to put pressure on his ankle. So he would like flip his body triangle to make you roll into your choke. So it's like, I'm defending the body triangle. Like, yeah. So I'm convulsing. I'm like, not gonna tap. I sleep at the wheel. But yeah, jiu-jitsu, I definitely, I wouldn't mind rolling again. That was
love to have you, man. Days. Come out to our gym. It'd be fun to have you.
That would be fun. Throw people around. I haven't rolled in years and years and years and years. So
you've got some good gyms out. There's one called Triangle in Nashville. Okay. It's part of the Pedigo Submissions Academy, and the guy out there, his name's Clay. I think his last name's Mayweather, but he's one of the top 50 in the world right now. He's great.
Oh wow. So
let's get into bourbon real quick.
Yeah.
This is obviously going to be a big part of the show because of our consumption backgrounds.
I like how we thought we were going to be able to keep this to like a 30-minute combo.
I know. I did too. I thought for real we could do it at 30 minutes.
We might have to actually edit some of this stuff out and just use it as for a future.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean,
maybe we'll see.
I don't know. I mean, I think we just could let it rip.
Just let it roll. I mean, we did not plan. It was not in our notes to go down the world of Beaver by Bourbon.
No, it just sort of happens.
We're still talking about it.
Yeah.
Still talking about it.
And, I'm pretty sure we didn't say anything that was legally offensive. If we offended anyone, I don't care. I just care about the legal offensive kind of thing.
Yeah. Again, like I said, if people can't take a joke, don't listen.
Indonesia might be upset with us, but no plans to go there anytime soon.
Then again, has anybody ever really come out and woke up in the morning and be like, man, I really hope Indonesia isn't upset with me?
Well, I do.
Don't make toxic shrimp.
That's it.
What do you want? What do you want from me? I'm reporting the news. You know what I mean? We're basically journalists, Fred.
That's it.
That's all we are. You know what? If you're going to put CS 137 in your shrimp, get called out for it.
Or, some people could think they're going to get superpowers from it. Who knows? Maybe that's their real thing.
And you know what? And I'm okay with those people survival of the fit. If you think radioactive shrimp is going to help you, gobble up.
Okay, I know where we're not going to get radioactive anything, and that's this breaking news that you've got. You said we're journalists, so I guess in this situation you would be the source. So give us the news. Source. What's up with this new bourbon of yours?
Yeah, so Full Ride Bourbon. We're hoping to be available. We're going direct to consumer to start, right? So we'll be going with working through Speakeasy and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a pet project of mine and my partners for the last almost 5 years. I think, we started buying barrels right around 2021. So 4.5 years roughly. And, aging some stuff we bought some MGP barrels, and then we blended it with some Kentucky barrels that we acquired, some 13 years. So, our youngest juice is 8 years old right now. Nice. And so we have a 8-year blend. It's a 4-grain. And we made the Hall of Fame batch that, you got a bottle of, and everybody got a bottle from the Hall of Fame that won't be being sold. Mm-hmm. So we're going to come to market, it'll be whatever. We really decided that we're not going to try to dictate the proof so much. I would love to be in that 115 range coming to market. So we're going to do a small batch run of about 160 bottles as we wait for our mass shipment. If anybody's dealing with glass and logistics, it's freaking annoying, right? Every day there's something something goes wrong to delay the process. But we got some bottles on hand, some juice, so we're actually going to come out with about 100, probably 150 bottles of we're going to proof down about 115 to really help open it up, because lucky for me, I know somebody in the bourbon world who was able to give me some feedback on some stuff, and this man was absolutely correct that on a cube it really opened up, but neat was a little bit grain forward, and which it wasn't bad. We got a lot of great feedback on it, but I'm a perfectionist when try to be great at everything, perfectionist everything. So I take criticism, I take notes well. So we're going to proof that down about 115 and release a super small batch of that while we wait for for the rest of our glass to get in, probably mid-November, December 1, we'll have a bulk run. We're only doing 5,000 cases this first year, so that's why we're going direct to consumer at fullridebourbon.com. You can check us out. That site's actually live, getting all of our socials up and stuff like that.
So you can do like pre-orders now? Why
not? No, I haven't opened up pre-orders. We're going to do pre-orders. I haven't opened it up yet until I have a drop dead date of when my glass is going to be, because I would hate to tell somebody you can pre-order at X, right? And then, so right now I'm shooting for October 1st, that first week of October, to be ready to go. As soon as I have the hard date of 100% of when that's going to be done. As you know, making changes to labels, to proofs, or anything, you got to, sometimes you got to read through the COLA process. So once I have that done, we will make an announcement on our socials and stuff like that, and our website, and probably on here that, hey, we have a drop dead date of October. That'll be ready. But yeah, that's where we're at. We're doing an event up in Minnesota for my ring ceremony. We're bringing some of that Hall of Fame juice to give away as gifts up there as well. So nice. It's a cool deal. We're doing some. We'll be in Lake Tahoe. We've got a curling thing coming up in Lake Tahoe where Full Ride will be present. Our goal is to be everywhere but nowhere, Fred. You know what I mean?
That's
big on the scarcity model, big on quality over quantity. I think people are at an age, people going into the liquor business probably a little nervous, because I think there was a recent study that came out. It was like, I think 25%. There was like a 25% drop in people that identify as drinkers or whatever. And I think the big difference is, you always say it, is there's drinkers and there's tasters.
Yep.
I think the world is getting to a spot where not as many people want to be going out, at least our age group for sure. No one's that wants to be at the bar shooting, who wants to be getting banged up, right? So, we really want to operate in that high quality space where, it might cost you a little more, but I'd rather sit down and have one quality drink than a whole, like 3 or 4, piss waters. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's what's happening is people they've pulled away from drinking Jim Beam and Jack Daniels ad nauseum. Now they want one good drink, maybe once or twice a week. Yeah. And there's been a real effort too of people getting health conscious, which I'm all for. Yep. And they're just moving away from all the consumption. And on the bourbon side, people got into bourbon, and then they're like, you know what? I have 300 bottles now. I need to slow down.
Well, yeah, because people start collecting, right? People start collecting like crazy, and that was one thing that we were very conscious of, is going forward. I'm like, I want to make a product that whether you just close $100 million deal, whether you're just celebrating the fact that all your kids graduated high school and they're in college, we weren't necessarily, we're not, our whole model is grit and determination deserves to be celebrated, right? Deserves celebration. And another one of our things is, like, we have right across the top of our bottles, you've earned this moment, right? And that's what I'm trying to say. We're not trying to go after a demographic. We're actually going after like a psychographic, right? I'm because no matter what field you're in, the characteristics it takes to be successful are the same. Whether you're in construction, whether you're in corporate America, whether you're an athlete, whether, whatever it is, right? And it's that adventurous spirit. It's that the willingness to push those boundaries. It's that, getting up early, working hard till the end of the day. And you know what? You're right. I would just, man, that was a successful day. I'm gonna have myself a nice little pour, chill out, go to sleep. Or guess what? You know what? That was a successful month or week, or we closed a deal, or my kids are off the cause, like I said. And so we want to be there to celebrate, those life's moments, and and really. I didn't want to focus on case volumes. I didn't want to focus on, all that. Although, from a business standpoint, I know that's how the world goes around. I know that's how people make money, right? And how evaluations are said. But, I think there's a way that you can literally create a genuine experience and be successful in the business as well. And that's what we're going for. And guess what? Time will tell.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's something to celebrate with. Something to celebrate right now is, like, you've got this incredible bourbon coming out, just got in the Hall of Fame. We got this new show out called Fourth and Neat. So make sure you tell a friend. Subscribe.
Absolutely. I'm excited. Yeah. What do the kids say on YouTube? So you click the bell below, subscribe for
click the like button and give us a review.
Oh,
I've never been good at that.
No, I don't even know how the social stuff works, but
you're not even allowed, right? Does your wife keep it all from you?
Oh, she handles 90% of it. Not even lie. Not a lie. I don't want to. I check it so frequent or infrequently that I'm just like, yeah. Unless if I know you, just shoot me a text. But I will say that. I will say social media is probably one of the greatest marketing tools ever. It is, at its heart, its benefits for keeping people connected is cool. But you just like anything, you know what? Bad actors will take anything that's deemed good and tear it apart. So, that's unfortunate. But yeah, you know what? And kudos to you, Fred, because when you asked me to do this, I said, hey, make it easy. And you did. You even shipped me this microphone, and here we are podcasting. Look at this.
Let's do it. This is the first one of many. We're going to have special guests come in. We're going to have more crazy stuff to talk about. There's something I want to bring up on the next episode. There's this whole, I don't want to talk about it now, but I want you to think about it.
Okay.
The Disney rash. Have you heard about this? You know about the Disney rash?
No. Dude, don't tell me.
It's a whole
Don't tell me. I'm going to do my research, and I'm coming back with opinions for sure.
Dude, this is radioactive shrimp for the skin. You are going to go berserk. So be sure that you are subscribing so you can hear Jared's take on the Disney rash. But that's going to do it for our first episode of Fourth and Neat. Come back and see us every Thursday, or listen to us every Thursday. And that's a show wrap, Jared. That's it.
Ma'am.
Cheers.